All right, Old Noah Road hasn't had a backpack on in quite a while, so I am going to stress test wearing the backpack. This is a lighter version of what I'll be carrying. It's about, I estimate it to be between 40 and 45. Okay, so we'll take a walk. I haven't even had this backpack on. I just found this backpack, thank goodness, at a Goodwill. Let me get up this way. I would have waited until tomorrow, but we're calling for rain. Getting green. Whew, okay. Let me get my wind back. How green it's getting, huh? There's some ugly pickers there. Okay, God, wish I can catch my breath. Whew, it's hard with the backpack on. Hawk must have ate something. Whew, okay. Kind of looks like the Blair Witch Woods. Blair Witch Woods, I mean. All right. Yeah. We should definitely prep. Y'all are with me. Yeah. I'm definitely transitioning into a new season. And I ain't talking about just summer. Winter from summer or spring to summer. Oh, I'm talking about a season in my life. The last 4 or so months, honestly, I put myself into a self-imposed place of darkness for a little while. There was seriously stuff I had to deal with that I did not realize was still lodged, somewhere inside. Our reality is energy. And sometimes the energy of our reality periodically breaks down. So, for the purpose, that's something new. can be brought into our lives. But if you got old stuff that's unresolved from the reality that has recently broke down, and you got a bunch of spiritual or psychological, whatever, residue hanging around, and it's literally in your body via cellular memory, and it's in spiritual places, in the dark corners of your soul and so forth. And as when you spiritually develop, you become more enlightened. With every new level of enlightenment that's achieved, you get new challenges. It's just like in the gym. When you first started, 20 or 50 or whatever pounds of weights was heavy. When you get used to it, you had to keep adding more. So your challenge is it's not like you go unchallenged. It's just the challenge increases. That is the same with the spiritual path. There's new tricks that you could say that Satan throws at us, or as I said in a couple of videos ago, the strongest opponent you'll ever face is within you. That opponent will throw new tricks, because energy wants to self-perpetuate and creates inroads in our thinking, in our consciousness, and how information that our minds receive is processed in our ego whenever it relates that information to itself. So that's how spirituality is. Spirituality isn't 100% spirit. Some of it's physical, like the ego. That's explained through psychology, not psychiatry. Psychiatry is just housing mentally ill and doping people up on medication. Psychology, although it's not good because it doesn't believe in the spirit. It doesn't believe that man has an essence, that there's a real creator. It just believes that man is a functional beast that has a larger brain than the rest of the beasts, and if you tighten the right bolts and loosen the right bolts, then you'll get in touch with the neurosis that's causing the problems, and the capable beast will now function correctly. That's what psychology teaches, ultimately, if you follow it down its rabbit hole far enough. But that, I cannot accept that. But there are aspects, like how the ego processes information, and how that information comes through experience. And the experience is an unconscious, spontaneous event. It happens automatically. So it's very easy for us to get into a pattern of thinking where we simply, with minimal effort, perpetuate the inroads of behavior that our neurosis or that our personality disorders have sort of created. And that's like where the anger comes from, and that's where a lot of things like that come from. But spiritual path really confronts that. It's a lot of, I guess you could say, spiritual debris that needs to be clear. It's like cloud cover. It needs to blow out to sea. Once you can see clear, you reach that energetic shift in your consciousness, and what happens is you have a personal breakthrough, and then you're able to interact with your own personal neurosis or your own personality disorders. You can consciously interact with them. Focus your attention inside rather than focusing your attention always outside of yourself. Whether you're feeling good or whether you're feeling bad is depending on the outside forces. When you're dealing with God, think of it as God's always playing a game of hide and go seek with you. I don't mean like a little kid or anything, snarky. I mean, since God is wearing nature as a costume, you are confronted with something perhaps unpleasant. And it's in the form of something natural. And we are supposed to look at the natural, as a costume that God is wearing. So we can kind of like hide and go seek, go, there you are, oh, I see you now. And that is our growth. After enough of those growths, and we start to interact consciously with our personality disorders or neuroses, and subtle neuroses. It could be something kind of just subtle that keeps us from getting out of our own way. Once we start to interact with that in a conscious level, and we have that breakthrough, and suddenly we see that everything that we see in the outside world is a reflection of what we have created within. That's the spiritual path. I came here in order to throw myself into a self-imposed place of darkness to be refined a little bit more. When I left, the last year was really a fantastic summer. The last 2 summers have been amazing. But last summer was really exceptional. But by the end of it, I noticed I had a sense of spiritual burnout. And I was confronted. I was at a new level of resistance, you see. And I had to test my faith. I had to really take stock in it. And I also had to deal with myself. And this place allowed me to do it. I'll always be grateful to my sister for finding it for me. And I'll also be grateful for the landlord that provided it. And I'll be grateful also for a friend of mine, the one that is driving me around so much. She's been in my life for years, and without her, I don't think I could be where I'm at. A lot of things at play, and it'd be too long at the moment to go into how I ended up getting here. But I followed the trail of breadcrumbs, and I don't care how convincing atheists can be. I know that there is a divine hand in my life. And that is where I have learned to place my trust. Not everything that happens is pleasant, but it is the best possible outcome available to me in order to refine my soul by coming to earth as a spiritual being in order to commune with a physical experience, which is only God in a costume. There is nothing natural. Everything is a miracle. We just got used to seeing it. Isn't that beautiful? That said, no road. Over and out for now.